from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Ho, ho! Fossil fuels have got to go! Hey!
Thousands of people marching through the streets in support of science. Good evening. I'm Rielle Creighton. The crowds today have been massive, from Washington, D.C. to Chicago to right here in San Diego. Our team coverage begins with 10 News reporter Jessica Chen at the Embarcadero.
Well, it was one of the biggest marches I've ever seen here in San Diego. Well, the participants, they started out at the Civic Center and then they marched down the street here where they ended up here at the Waterfront Park where they continued to chant and spread their message.
Let's go science!
People from all walks of life.
What do we want? Science!
Young.
The people, united, will never be divided.
And old joined together Saturday.
I'm an artist, but science is the way to think.
Carol Anderson says as an artist, she uses science to help with her work.
And even in my art, I benefit from science because science has advanced the chemistry in art.
She was among thousands of San Diegans who marched down Broadway in support of science.
Science, not silence. I wanted to do science since I was maybe 10.
Evelyn Lee, a PhD student at the Scripps Research Institute, says she's using her science background to help find a cure for Parkinson's.
And then I realized how much potential it has, that one day it's probably going to help everybody in the world. And I want to be part of it.
This march in San Diego was among hundreds across the country today.
Science has made great strides.
Several speakers took to the stage to promote their message.
As you know, science is currently under attack.
Carol says there's nowhere else she'd rather be.
What do you think of all the energy?
I love it, man. That's half the reason to come, is just to feel the humanity and the support.
This event was held in conjunction with Earth Day, which is today. At the Embarcadero, Jessica Chen, 10 News.
Jessica, thank you. Our team coverage continuing with ABC's David Wright covering the marches around the country and President Trump's push to fulfill some major campaign promises as he approaches his 100 days.
Earth Day brought out Americans by the tens of thousands, braving the rain in Washington, D.C.
Less invasion, more equation.
Coast to coast, from New York to L.A., and in 60 different countries around the world, the March for Science celebrated scientific achievement and protested some of the policies of the Trump administration.
The policies of the administration are so dangerous.
The president made no mention of the rallies during his first visit to Walter Reed Hospital today.
So I heard about this and I wanted to do it myself.
Where he awarded the Purple Heart to Sergeant First Class Alvaro Barrientos, recently injured in Afghanistan. President Trump faces a big week as his first 100 days in office winds down. The president still hoping to put points on the board, teasing a major announcement ahead.
And we'll be having a big announcement on Wednesday having to do with tax reform.
But the tax plan comes during the threat of a government shutdown. Lawmakers have until midnight Friday to pass a spending plan. Democrats have signaled they may not vote for a budget that undermines the Affordable Care Act or that includes his famous border wall.
We're going to have the wall. Mexico's going to pay for the wall. We're going to suspend immigration from terror-prone regions.
During the campaign, the president himself laid out what he hoped to accomplish in these first 100 days.
And the funny thing is Donald Trump is actually one that has set the bar on this. I think he's talked about it 17 or 18 different times about how successful his first 100 days was going to be.
All of which raises the pressure now. David Wright, ABC News, Washington.
We posted videos of the local March for Science on our Facebook page. Join the conversation at facebook.com/ABC 10 News. Well, a man is dead after crashing his dirt bike into a parked car. It happened at 9:20 last night on Caminito Catalina in Rancho Bernardo. Police say he was riding down the street without a helmet. He lost control, then hit a fire hydrant and crashed into a parked car. An ambulance picked him up and took him to the hospital. He was later pronounced dead. Turning to our weather now, hot temperatures drawing big crowds to our beaches, but dangerous conditions in the water have lifeguards on high alert. 10 News Pinpoint weather anchor Jennifer De La Cruz tracking the strong rip currents and some very big waves.
Yeah, there's a beach hazard statement that has been issued, started yesterday, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from heading to the beach today. There's also a ton of surfers in the water right now at Pacific Beach, taking advantage of this beautiful Earth Day. Temperatures right now feeling very warm, 74 degrees in San Diego, 71 in Carlsbad, and 90 degrees in El Cajon right now, and 86 in Poway. Our 24-hour temperature change, we're right on track with where we were yesterday in San Diego, but feeling 5 degrees warmer right now in El Cajon and 5 degrees warmer in Poway. So another warm day for us here around the county. Your evening planner will be at 71 degrees on the coast by 6 o'clock tonight under mostly clear skies, 68 degrees by 7 o'clock, and then we'll have clear skies overnight, but there is a chance for some patchy fog to develop after 11. I'll talk more about that coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Jennifer, we'll wait for that. Now to new video of a daring rescue in San Francisco. Fire crews rappel from a helicopter to save a man hanging from a giant cliff. It happened near China Beach yesterday. The man was trapped on that cliff for over an hour before rescue crews were able to get to him. He had minor injuries but will be okay. It's still unclear how he got trapped on the cliff. And now to a developing story, a new incident on an airplane making headlines today. During a flight out of San Francisco yesterday, witnesses say a flight attendant crossed the line while dealing with a mom boarding the plane. ABC's Adrian Bankert has the video.
Millions of views online. It's yet another case of an onboard confrontation involving passengers, now going viral. This time, the antagonism is on an American Airlines flight in California.
You can't use violence with baby. Just give me back my stroller, please.
At issue, officials say the mother tried to bring her double-wide stroller onto the plane and down the single aisle. A flight attendant told her she needed to gate check it. When she did not, he took it away.
I was very upset and grabbed it and just pulled it and yanked it off, sort of violently yanked it.
A baby almost got hurt. That's what just fired me up.
Other passengers like Tony Fierro say the employee was violent with the stroller, nearly hitting the woman and her child.
What's the guy's name that did that with the stroller?
Minutes later, when the man gets back on board, Fierro gets up again.
Hey, bud, you do that to me and I'll knock you flat.
You stay out of this.
American Airlines quickly issuing an apology, saying we are deeply sorry for the pain we have caused this passenger and her family. The actions of our team member captured here do not appear to reflect patience or empathy, two values necessary for customer care. Most air carriers, including American Airlines, do not allow strollers in the cabin. This new outrage comes just 2 weeks after United Airlines had to publicly apologize after video surfaced of a passenger being dragged off a flight. The woman in this case, who was traveling from Argentina, took another flight, and the airline upgraded her and her family to first class. The staffer now grounded on paid leave during an investigation. Adrian Bankert, ABC News, New York.
Well, 3 separate wildfires raging across parts of Florida, burning up homes and forcing thousands of people to evacuate. Officials say a lit cigarette, likely tossed by a parent waiting at a school bus stop, started the fire in Lee County. In Collier County, the intense blaze destroyed 9 homes and 5,500 acres.
Walk out the door and it hit me a wave of heat, and I look across it. Immediately, my attention was drawn across the street. It was up in flames.
One of the houses on the other side, it was a 2-story house, and it's gone. It's completely gone.
Investigators are still looking into what started the other fires. They say most likely it's arson. Well, family and friends and community members say goodbye to their final goodbyes to the victim of the Facebook shooting in Cleveland. The public funeral service for Robert Godwin Sr. was held today. Police say he was gunned down on Easter by Steve Stevens, who later posted the video of it on Facebook. 74-year-old Godwin had 10 grandchildren and 14 grandkids. One of Godwin's daughters said today that the family forgave Stevens because that's what Godwin taught them to do. A wild heist at a California watch store. The owner says 3 men came into his Walnut Creek store on Thursday dressed as construction workers, saying that he needed to sign off on some electrical work. But then one man pepper sprays the owner and a customer. Another man pulls a baseball bat out of his pants and smashes a case. One of the robbers grabs a handful of watches, but they quickly run out when the owner pulls out a gun.
I pointed it at him and began to rush him towards the door, and he obviously fled very quickly.
The owner says the heist was so well planned, it seemed like the guys were seasoned criminals. Police are investigating if this robbery is connected to others in the Bay Area. Well, meantime, it was a huge show of support at the annual March of Dimes walk in the North County today, and there's still time to get involved. 10 News reporter Gracia Aguilar found out why one woman and her family raise money for the walk every year.
A crowd gathering as volunteers for the March of Dimes set up for their annual March for Babies 5K walk. Hundreds of people raising money and awareness for the improvement of baby health. Donna Schweitzer is the leader of Team Rue. Her son Riley was born premature at 26 weeks.
He weighed 2 pounds at birth and suffered respiratory distress syndrome.
Riley underwent surfactant therapy for more than 3 months.
Which is a soapy substance that helps keep Creamy's lungs inflated so the ventilator can do its work.
Had there been no form of treatment,
his lungs would have stuck together and collapsed and he would have died.
Learning the procedure was made possible through the March of Dimes, Schweitzer decided she needed to stay involved.
I look in my son's face every single day, and just the fact that I get to do that continues to inspire me to give back.
Giving back for 13 years. Every year she gets a team together for the walk, raising thousands of dollars.
Every penny counts, every dime counts, so it doesn't matter if you raise $200 or $200,000, it's just everything that goes to give back.
And as Team Rue and others reach the finish line,
I love 10 News, it's the greatest station ever.
They know their efforts are making a difference, saving lives.
Remember that you're not alone and that there's always hope.
Reporting in Oceanside, Gracia Aguilar, 10 News.
Hey, I know that guy. That was Steve Atkinson there. 10 News is a proud sponsor of the March for Babies. The March will be March of Dimes, will be holding a second walk next Saturday in Balboa Park. This new video tonight, a freak accident sends a little girl tumbling out of the back of a bus. The lucky break, putting the perfect person to help right behind her. Plus, San Diegans doing their part this Earth Day. The huge push to clean up tens of thousands of pounds of trash around town.
More sunshine in our future, but we're starting to cool down. I'm pinpointing the rest of your weekend forecast coming up next.